With no prior work experience, no money in the bank, and no idea of how to run a logistics company, Adedayo Emmanuel founded Fast Track Delivery Service in 2015. At the time, he was a geophysics student at the University of Lagos. Balancing school and work seemed like a tall order, but loans from friends and his determination to fill a gap in Nigeria's logistic market gave him a kickstart at Fast Track. A typical day at the Ayaba headquarters include an early arrival to sort out packages. They are organized according to location, and each dispatcher is assigned an area to cover for the day. This task occurs in the busy office full of men and a female secretary. When all parcels are arranged, the CEO gives a talk to his team and reminds them of safety precautions as they drive around the busy city of Lagos.
But try and, especially those that are going to office areas, try and drop off all your packages before 4 o'clock. And if you're not going to be there before 4 o'clock, follow your customers and make arrangements with them.
Prayers are said afterwards, and the food and motorcycle dispatchers zoom off to achieve their goals for the day. What's the idea behind Fast Track Delivery Service?
Fast Track was born out of being inquisitive. I needed to fend for myself, and most importantly, I saw a gap in logistics in Lagos, and I felt I could take advantage of that opportunity and create something for myself.
I want you to tell me about your humble beginning in 2015. How did you start? How did you get funds to even, set up this space?
I actually started the business when I was in school, and I didn't go to any school to learn how to do logistics. I just read up a few things on my own, and then I ventured into it. So I learned it the hard way, the hardest way. I lost a lot in the beginning, but thankfully we're beginning to gain them back. But when I even started, I was a student. I had to manage school and business. I mean, I had exams. There was a period I had exams, and I didn't really trust any other person with the business, especially dealing with clients and all that stuff. So I had to always find a way to accommodate the business with my education. That was very, very demanding. That was extremely difficult. There was this period where I had exams and I had to switch off my phones, and then I was in the exam hall. I was trying to think to do geology. One course in geology like that, it was a 500 level course. It was, and all that was in my head was, are you sure this person's package is going to be delivered? It was very, very difficult. So that period of my life was demanding. But thank God I finished school well, and the business, I didn't stop the business. So I mean, I've been out of school for like 3 years now, and I just faced the business.
Walk us through your service delivery from getting that first client to making the drop-off.
Okay, it's a pretty straightforward process. So depending on the platform that we've been contacted through, Facebook, Instagram, via the website, sometimes maybe Twitter, we usually direct them back to one common platform so that it's well organized, which is the WhatsApp. So once those orders have been placed on all the social medias, once we receive them on WhatsApp, we then process it. We request the full information to carry out the request that's coming. That's the pickup information, which would include the point where we're going to pick it up from, the contact person that we're supposed to pick up from, the content of what we're picking up, and then the delivery information, which is just going to be the replica of the pickup. We have the delivery locations and then the phone number. So once we have that, we send out a dispatch. Because of the style we try to create for our own self, because of our working model that we're trying to abide with here. We usually try to do all our pickups in the morning. So once we pick up in the morning, especially for customers that usually want their items delivered same day. So if we pick it up in the morning, we're able to walk through the process of bringing it back to the office, recording it, processing it, and then we then send out for dispatching. So between the hours of 6:30 and say 9 o'clock, we try to tidy up all pickups. Then we bring them back here. Between the hours of 9:30 and 10 o'clock, we try to process them, record them, confirm payment, confirm where payment is going to be made and all of that stuff. And then from 10 down to close of business, we try to fulfill the orders by delivering them.
Adedayo diligently watered his business to bloom, but this rose had its own thorns. Insufficient resources, inexperience, and other insufficiencies challenged his business, but this man had a dream and the perseverance to achieve it. What would you say is your major challenge since you started FTD?
The greatest challenge I have faced in the business is starting up, which was extremely difficult. Before I started, I took a road trip around Lagos for like 3-4 weeks. I was doing it every day, going to different places, knowing places. I can almost confidently say there is almost nowhere in Lagos I do not know at the back of my hand. Yes. So I was exploring places before we started so that at least I know a sensible rate to put out there. And then I didn't have all of the money required to start up. I mean, for that startup, I was looking at like 300,000 naira. I mean, I was a student. I had not worked before then. I didn't have that money. So, and 300,000 naira was to get one bike, get a few things that I would need, a table, a chair, I mean, shoes, trekking shoes, because I wasn't riding a bike, I was delivering via public transport and all that. A bag, for the dispatch guy, helmet, safety, equipment and all that stuff. So I needed like 300 grand. I didn't have that. So what I did was, I had written contracts with my friends, a few of my friends that could borrow me money. There are about 3 or 4 of them, Christian, Canon, Chika. So I got money from all these guys. And then I promised I was going to pay back at a particular time. And then I did. So it made the first step of bringing the idea to reality quite easy because I actually had friends that could help me out with money. We didn't start making money immediately because I was making mistakes, horrible mistakes. I was undercharging people. I didn't know the ropes well. Take for example, I didn't know that during rainy season, there's a way you're supposed to manage the bike. I just kept on pushing everywhere, and that's why it depreciated faster than it was supposed to. We're losing a few good clients because we couldn't meet up with their orders. Now, we're not losing them because they didn't like the service. We're losing them because we couldn't fulfill their orders. What I was doing was, every little amount of money I was making, I was trying to pour it back into the business. So what I did again was, I borrowed money again to get the second one. So this time I was lucky enough to get someone that could give me the whole chunk at once, like 300K. So it took a lot of discipline to make sure that you try to pay back somebody's money before you start putting your own aside. So I think the first 8 to 10 months, it was just about returning people's money. And then you ask yourself, are you really growing? Are you doing right? Are you doing fine? So thank God we're able to weather that period. The second greatest challenge I have faced is learning the market, learning the business. Because I didn't have any prior knowledge about whatever it is it was. I had to learn it while doing it. So some days I went to bed very sad because I made terrible decisions that went against the company. And then man management. Learning to manage emotions of human beings, learning to make people work as a team, has been very difficult, but it's also been interesting. But I think that's actually been one of the hardest things to do in the business.
We all know that riding motorcycles or even vehicles can be very dangerous. What security measures or safety measures do you put in place? And tell me about insurance. Do you have any?
That's actually a very important part of the business. I mean, you either learn it the easy way or you learn it the hard way. If you're learning it the easy way, it's usually better to get insurance. If you're learning it the hard way, there's so much risk involved. A quick one was one of the experiences we had about 2 years ago. In 2016, December, we had one of our riders that was involved in a very bad accident. And up until then, I didn't really understand the importance of insurance. Thank God the guy didn't die. He's okay now, he's fine. But we would have had a bit of buoyancy, a bit of soft landing if we had insurance. So insurance is very key. I usually tell people that are starting up that don't wait till it happens. It's better to just get it from the beginning. So the insurance we currently have covers the rider, covers the item in transit, covers either car or bike or whatever it is. So we have full premium insurance that covers everything that involves your package getting from one point to end point.
Like most entrepreneurs, Adedayo has plans for global expansion.
The vision is we have to keep moving. When I started, I had a 10-year plan. We're 3 years into the 10-year plan. We had to extend the plan now to like, say, 15, 20 years. The vision for us is to try and conquer the logistic market that exists in Nigeria and beyond. So if we do Nigeria, I wouldn't say we have not succeeded, we have. But if we're able to go outside Nigeria, I mean, it's better, it's sweeter.
Only a few years ago, a business buddy provided financial support for Fast Track through a grant. Adedayo believes that entrepreneurship could be the cornerstone of Nigeria's economy if the government supports entrepreneurs with funding.
There was this one competition that I did just before I left school, Global Student Entrepreneur Award. We brought grants of 250K at that time, which was very well welcomed at that point. So that was used to purchase another bike. That was how the third bike came on board. So that put together got the funds that was needed to push the business further than where it was at that point.
So if there's one thing you could change about Nigeria's economy, what would it be?
There are lots of startups these days that do not even have enough funds. I know there are one or two government funds that are usually released, but if they could put more attention in the entrepreneurial world, I think it's going to even affect Nigeria's GDP as a whole. It's going to affect the Nigerian system as a whole. I usually take people back to the US. I mean, the level United States is now, where you have so many organizations that are global brands. They started 20, 30 years ago. I think Nigeria is just arriving at that point where we have so many entrepreneurs that are willing to take risk and then grow a brand. So if we get adequate support from the government, we're looking at 20, 30 years from now, a lot of things. I mean, this entrepreneurial thing that is becoming the in thing now could be the cornerstone for Nigeria. So for them, for the government, they are doing their part, but it can be better.
What advice do you have to budding entrepreneurs, people who want to start up and of course be like you?
Extreme focus, perseverance, and determination. Because it's easy to start up and pack up. Because our brain is a sea of ideas. We have plenty of things. Oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. The first step is pulling it out and bringing it to reality. Second step is following it through. And the forever step is growing it.
Fast Track in 2018 today is far from where they started in 2015. The founder and his team are constantly challenging the boundaries of space to deliver products across the 20 local government areas of Lagos State. Soon enough, this promising startup will be crossing borders and connecting the world through their service, which is always on time.